Hi everybody, I'm gnbryl and welcome to video number 5 in the Perfect Pitch for Adults series. And last time we said that perfect pitch development in adults involves two primary components. Number one, we need to gain an additional sensation or feeling in the brain every time we hear a sound. And number two, we need to teach the brain to interpret that sound, regardless of the musical context in which it appears, or regardless of any short-term memory content we may have. So how do we do it? Well, a lot of people have tried to develop or just practice some ear training exercises, hoping that that will somehow result in perfect pitch. Now, perfect pitch is a pretty small and specialized area, and you can research it pretty easily, and you will find that there has been no evidence showing that ear training exercises alone are sufficient to develop or acquire perfect pitch. Pretty much going back to the 19th century, you can find accounts where people have gone to great length. They practiced ear training for like 10, 20, 30 years. And, well, I don't know about 30, but 20 certainly. I found one individual. And the results were at best mediocre, which is to say they could not rival those born with perfect pitch. And so perfect pitch was not achieved in the regular, ordinary sense of that term. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that ear training exercises are not sufficient to develop perfect pitch in adults. And so the question then becomes, well, how do we do it if we can't do it through exercise? And the answer, again, can be found by analogy. Let's take a 300-pound individual. Let's take somebody who is excessively obese, and let's see if that person can become slender, or slim. If you send that 300-pound guy to the gym, what do you think the results will be? They are going to do exercises, they're going to work out at the gym, but they're not going to turn into a supermodel. So the trick is, if we want to take someone who is 300 pounds and turn them into a slim individual, we would have to reconstitute their body. We would have to put them on a diet before we send them off to do exercise. And of course, they could do both at the same time, but in the beginning, if you're 300 pounds, you probably can't do much exercise. And so it's very similar with perfect pitch. I mentioned this in passing before, that it's developed mostly through passive listening. And what I really mean by that is that the only way that I can see that perfect pitch can be developed in adults is through changing your musical lifestyle. You have to put yourself on a musical diet, so to speak. And so it's a lifestyle change. It's not merely, trying to do exercises and stuff. You have to be listening to certain sequences of sounds, and it's something that you just do and then you forget about it. It takes a little discipline maybe, but it doesn't take any effort, because all you got to do is just listen to sounds, which is what you are already doing anyway. And so it's pretty easy to go on a musical diet. And I would say that about 80% of perfect pitch development is your musical diet, and then about 20% is musical exercise. So the nice thing is that it's done effortlessly. And it's the same as just enjoying music by listening to it, or it's the same as practicing your instrument. You do it without regard to your daily progress, and you just do it because, you have fun with it. And it's not like, developing perfect pitch is going to turn you into an instant prodigy. For instance, take a look at these videos.
Sarah? ¿Qué mamá?
do. Fa la do mi la do. Do mi diez sol do. Do diez mi. Do mi bemol sol. Sol bemol. Sol diez.
These are kids that were born with perfect pitch, and look at the way they are developing it. You can see that they are actually developing it in these videos. They still have to warm up. They have to be kind of led from like single notes to 2-note intervals to 3-note chords. You can see that they have to progress like that. So if these kids who were born with it have to do it, then imagine what we as adults have to go through to acquire perfect pitch. So the way I see it is you only have two choices. You can either keep living your musical life the way it is now, or you can change your musical lifestyle, put yourself on a musical diet that I will prescribe, and then put yourself at least on the path to potentially acquire perfect pitch. Now, the good news is that a lot of this you can do in your car. If you have a reasonably recent car, you have a decent stereo in the car, that's going to be enough. You're going to be listening to certain sequences of sounds that will be, actually beneficial for your brain. Okay, so when you're in your car, instead of mindlessly listening to the radio, you can just listen to the special tracks that I will provide, and you can actually be doing something productive. So the way the sound fills the inside of the car is definitely enough for perfect pitch development. And it creates a very good environment and a very good tool for you to develop your ear. Now I wanted to talk briefly about this extra additional perception and give you a kind of a preview of it. Play, take an instrument, or maybe, and I'm going to use this piano and play a note, for instance, I just played an A, okay. So play, a note and listen to it and turn your head while listening to it. So go like this. So play the note and change the angle of your ear to the instrument, to the source of sound. Like this, go and find the position in which the sound will resonate in your head the most. So you play a note and you turn your head and you find the position in which the note will resonate in your head the most. It's almost like you have an internal antenna and you have to properly orient it toward the sound source. And it's not to say that perfect pitch depends on your angle towards your instrument, but this is just to illustrate a point. Find the position where the sound resonates in your head the most. And that resonating feeling is really a glimpse into the perfect pitch sensation. That's pretty much what you're looking for. The position where your brain kind of grabs the sound the most. You can also say that the sound penetrates your head the deepest, at this angle. Or you can say that you absorb the sound to the greatest extent. So see if that makes a difference. That's the glimpse of what you're looking for. Okay, so this is going to be the last preliminary video regarding perfect pitch training. Review, all 5 of them, and I think in all 5 of them now you have enough information to not waste your time on like note naming or becoming good at naming, notes on the piano or something. You have enough information to avoid all the common pitfalls in perfect pitch training, and to avoid, wasting a lot of time and effort on something that, doesn't yield much result. So get ready to embark on a musical diet. And so I'll see you soon on the next video, and have fun in the meantime.